Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So in today's build we're actually going to be building a base game house. So this house is completely base game. It's base game and the holiday, like free holiday pack. But honestly, whenever I do a base game house, I do think of the holiday pack as, you know, just an extension of the base game because it's totally free and it's been out for years now and like anyone can download it. So yeah, I did use a couple of the holiday items, the holiday, like the free holiday pack, but otherwise this build is completely base game only. And obviously it's also like CC free, so anyone can download it, you know, whether you're on console or, you know, PC or whatever, it's totally, you know, you can always download this. But yeah, so the reason I'm actually doing a base game house is because A, I haven't done a base game house in, honestly, I don't even know how long it's been. It has been a while since the last time I've done a base game house, but also I wanted to do a base game house because on the 18th of October, the Sims 4 base game is actually going to be free. So, you know, it's not going to be free just on the 18th, it's actually going to be free forever, you know, starting on the 18th. And it's going to be free for like console, for all different consoles, for PC, for Mac. So yeah, the base game is going to be totally free and I wanted to do a base game house so that if you, for some reason, watch my channel and you don't have The Sims 4 or anything like that and, you know, you maybe want to get it or maybe you know someone that wants to get it when, you know, it goes free on the 18th, then you can get the game and then you can download this build and have it be completely ready to play. Obviously, you know, if you download the base game, you can also download the holiday pack, so like, you know, you won't be missing anything if you ended up downloading this. But yeah, so it's completely base game. That's the reason I wanted to do a base game build, is because, you know, like I said, the game is going to be free on the 18th. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. It's actually, I think, the first Sims game that they've ever made free like this. I know a couple of years ago they did kind of the same thing with The Sims 2, where they like basically made the deluxe version of The Sims 2 free for a while. I can't remember how long it was for, like how long it was free, but basically you just had to contact like EA support and then, you know, give them proof that you have bought like one of the packs for The Sims 2 or something like that in the past, and then they would kind of just like add the deluxe version to your like origin library. So yeah, this was years ago by now, but yeah, I don't know how long they did that for, but I think it was only a couple of months that you could do that. And they've never made a like base game for another Sims game like totally free like this, as far as I know. I mean, I know they might have done it with The Sims 4 in particular in the past, where they might have done like, oh, the base game is going to be free for like this week or this weekend or whatever, and you could download it and like keep the game even after that period. But this is actually going to be making the base game free for like ever. So if you download the base game for free, then, you know, you own the base game, which is actually really cool. I think it's going to enable like so many different players and new players to like find the game. And then obviously there's a ton of different DLCs out that those new players will hopefully want to buy, or at least, you know, from EA's perspective, I guess, you know, this is kind of a way to get new players interested in the game and to, I guess, get them to buy packs, because obviously that's the point of it. But yeah, so going off of like departing from that train of thought for a second, honestly, I can't speak right now, and this is just something that's really random that I wanted to mention, is the fact that I'm recording this voiceover at like 6 p.m. and it's not my usual recording time, and for some reason today I'm very scatterbrained and I don't know why that is. So if this voiceover is a total mess and if I can't keep like a train or like stick to a train of thought to save my life, then I apologize for that. But at this point, if you guys are like familiar with my channel and if you're like a long time viewer, you probably know that a lot of my voiceovers are very like all over the place and just very chaotic, and I usually struggle with sticking to one train of thought whenever I do a voiceover, so it's nothing new. But anyway, going back to this house. So I don't think I've told you anything about the house apart from the fact that it's base game. But yes, clearly it's a very suburban house because honestly with the base game there's only so much that you can do. You can only do so many different styles with the base game. I think, yeah, suburban is definitely the easiest style to do with the base game. I mean, you could do some mid-century or like contemporary builds as well, but honestly we don't really have many like doors and windows to fit that style. And then you could also do maybe like a Victorian build, maybe colonial if you like really wanted to. There are a couple of build pieces that could work for colonial builds. But yeah, so Victorian you can do, but obviously for Victorian builds, you know, having a pack like 𝘕𝘕𝘕 would be very useful. Or, you know, maybe, you know, like Discover University could be really useful for that as well. So I didn't want to do a Victorian build basically because honestly I don't know how to pull a style like that off with just the base game. Like I said, whenever I think about Victorian builds, I immediately think about 𝘕𝘕𝘕𝘕. I think about the 𝘕𝘕𝘕𝘕 windows and doors. I think about, you know, there are a couple of other things from other packs that I just can't even pinpoint right now. Like little detail items that kind of make or break a Victorian build for me personally, that I can't do a Victorian build without them. So like a couple of the vampires details, a couple of, you know, just little detail pieces that I immediately think about, like I need them whenever I want to do a Victorian. And then for mid-century builds, I don't like all of the modern, I guess, contemporary windows and doors that we have in the base game. They're just so, I don't know, they're so clunky, if that makes sense. They're so, like, kind of outdated. I don't know if that's a good way to describe it, but they just don't fit the style all that well to me personally, for me personally. So whenever I do a contemporary build, or even a mid-century one, I tend to gravitate towards, you know, other items from other packs, from like Get Famous or Eco Lifestyle, or, you know, just stuff like that. So I didn't want to do a modern build. I might still do one. Honestly, I'm thinking about doing at least one more base game build before, you know, the 18th, when the base game becomes free. I'm thinking about maybe doing a more modern / contemporary one, but making it base game and the new deluxe, the new desert, wow, not deluxe, it's the Desert Luxe kit. I'm thinking about making a base game and Desert Luxe only build, because that kit is actually currently free. So if you have the base game already, and if you've purchased the base game, you know, anytime within the last like 8 years since the thing has been out, or if you, you know, buy it right now or whatever, then you can download the Desert Luxe kit for free from Origin. I don't know if it works the same on like Steam. I don't think The Sims 4 is on Steam, right? I don't know. It might be. I honestly don't know. But if you play The Sims 4 on like console or PC or whatever, then you can go and download the Desert Luxe kit for free right now. And that is going until the 17th. So the day before the base game becomes free. So I'm thinking about doing like a base game and Desert Luxe build, and then making it a little bit more modern, a little bit more contemporary. Maybe try and do some something mid-century, because I really, really love mid-century builds. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. Let me know if it's something that you guys would like to see. But yeah, so back to this build. So this is obviously suburban. Like I said, I tried to do something a little bit interesting with it. So we have little bump out on the side with the glass roof and the round walls, because I don't know. Glass walls are still fairly new. I still kind of hate them because they're very glitchy and they're a pain to work with. So I try to stay away from using, like, not glass walls, round walls. I don't know, did I say glass walls? Anyway, round walls are still very glitchy and very hard to work with, so I usually try and avoid them, even though they're very cool and it's awesome that we have them. I don't have the patience to try and like work around a lot of the bugs and stuff that they have, so I don't even try usually. But for this build, I wanted to do something a little bit interesting, since, you know, it is just base game. There's a lot of stuff that I would put in a build to kind of like full space and make it more realistic, like a laundry room or a garage, or just stuff like that. But obviously with base game we're limited with the activities that we have and also like the build items that we have, so I couldn't add something like, I don't know, some kind of like flower arranging room or like a greenhouse or whatever. I mean, I could add a greenhouse fairly easily because we do have planter boxes, but we don't have like the beekeeping boxes or the little bug house things or the flower arranging tables or anything like that. So basically I wanted to at least make the little bump out a little bit interesting, so I used the round walls. And then I actually turned it into the dining room, which you guys will have seen me put down like placeholder furniture on the inside. That's something that I've been starting to do more recently with my builds, where I will go through and put down like placeholder items in the floor plans just to kind of like work out, okay, so this is going to work or there's going to be enough space. And then when I actually get to the like furnishing part, I'll just delete those items, replace them with the ones that I want to use, and then kind of just decorate around them. So I'll like have placeholder stuff for all of like the big items that you kind of need to plan for, if that makes sense. So for the dining room, I knew a 4-seater or maybe a 6-seater dining table would work, it would fit. And for like the kitchen with the little island, I knew I wanted to have like island counters there, so I put placeholders down. I also do this a lot for living rooms, just to like figure out, the configuration, because I really hate having a TV on like a table in front of a window. So I usually like having a TV on a wall that has just like a flat wall, no windows or anything. So whether it's like mounted to the wall or on a table or whatever, I like to make sure that, the orientation of the living rooms would work. And this house does have a fireplace as well. So I already knew, wherever the fireplace is, that's where the TV is going to be. So I just wanted to make sure that I had space for everything and all of that stuff. So yeah, currently we're just working on the landscaping. And the landscaping for this house is kind of different from my usual landscaping because, like I said, only base game. There are quite a few base game like landscaping items that I do use quite a lot in my regular builds. But for this one, I did dig deep into the debug menu, which is something I usually do anyway, for landscaping especially. But for this one, I decided to go for a very like floral theme. So there's obviously a lot of green plants and like a lot of ferns and stuff. But then I also put in a bunch of different purple flowers because honestly, I don't know why I went for purple, because the exterior of the house is like very brown and beige. So I wanted some color in like the landscaping, and then I think I used purple flower boxes on the windows. Yeah, that's where the whole like purple landscaping idea came from. So yeah, we're using a ton of purple flowers, and yeah, that's basically the exterior. We're going to do the backyard a little bit later. I did put down a couple of items in the backyard, like a table and a pool. So this house does have a pool already, and then the rest of the backyard we're going to be doing at the end of the video. But yeah, so we've moved on to the interior. Now, the interior for the living room, like living spaces, is all fairly open plan. So we do have this kitchen that is a little bit more like sectioned off with those like dividing walls. But there's no like archways or doorways or anything like that going from the kitchen into like the living room, dining room. It's all fairly open. And I did that for a reason. I did that because it makes it look like, maybe it was closed off. Maybe the kitchen was closed off. Maybe the dining room was closed off as well. Because, you could easily just like draw a line where that one wall is on the side of the counters. And you could close off both the kitchen and the dining room from each other and from the living room. But I figured, doing it like this kind of makes it look like the family that lives here or that owns the house, maybe they've gone through and this house used to be a little bit more like, it's kind of like an older-ish house, and maybe they've gone through and they've like updated it. So I did try and use a couple of more like modern contemporary pieces on the interior especially. So even though the exterior is very like suburban-ish, I don't know, yeah, it's not really traditional, but it's more suburban traditional. And it does look like, it's at least maybe like a decade or so old. Maybe like a decade or two old. Whereas the interior, I wanted to make it look like, you know, they've gone through and they've kind of like renovated the whole house. So all of the wallpapers and wall coverings have been redone. They've maybe like redone all of the floors and all of the tiles in obviously like the kitchen, bathrooms and everything. And then they've also maybe like I said, updated the whole living space to kind of like make it a little bit more open. And then also I did end up using quite a few more like modern items for all of the like furniture as well, because all of the base game stuff, this is really weird, but all of the more traditional base game items, their textures are so bad compared to, you know, anything that we've gotten in recent packs, or even with the stuff that we've just gotten in recent updates like added to the base game. So it kind of blew my mind to see how many new items have been added to the base game, you know, since it came out. Because there's so many items that we didn't have when the like game launched, and all of the new items, they have like really nice textures, and you know, they kind of match more with, you know, quality wise. They kind of match more with recent packs and stuff. Whereas a lot of the older base game items, especially, it's very noticeable on the like more traditional items, because they obviously have a lot of like, they're supposed to look like they have a lot of texture and they have like patterns and stuff on them and everything like that. So it's very noticeable on them. But even with some of like the modern like or contemporary base game items, it's very noticeable. But the textures on them, like they're bad basically. I wanted to say they're not bad, but they are. They're very bad. They're very flat. They're very like, especially if you use them with some of the newer items, it's very noticeable. So I tried to use, you know, like more contemporary items where you couldn't really see that difference as much. So yeah, I hope I pulled that off. So that's kind of also why I went with the whole like, you know, they've updated the interior bit, because honestly, I couldn't use some of the more traditional items. They were just, I don't know, they were just very like, they were a lot. And they also really didn't fit with the whole like neutral, kind of calming vibe that I wanted this house to have. So a lot of the like items and the colors and everything that I ended up using are all very like beige, basically beige, white, gray. There's really light-ish blue color, which honestly, if you've seen any of my other base game builds so far, like that I've done, most of them are some variation of a blue house, because most of the items in the base game come in blue, and there's different like swatches of blue, so you can like mix and match them and use a couple of different blue colors, but everything comes in blue. And then also yellow. Everything in the base game, as far as I can remember, everything comes in yellow for some reason. And then also there's a really bright pink, almost like fuchsia color, which is just a lot. So out of those colors, I tend to just go for blue because it's the safest color. And yeah, you can match blue with like black. You can match it with gray, with beige, with, you know, white. And it will go with everything. So blue is just a very safe color for building, especially when it comes to base game houses. So yeah, the exterior of this house is beige and brown, and the interior is blue and beige. So yeah, I also used a lot of white, obviously, because like I said, I wanted to make it look very kind of like, I guess, calming and almost like neutral-ish. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about it, because yeah, I like the way it turned out. I'm not mad at the way this house turned out at all. It's actually quite a cute house. I do like it. I mean, it's only base game, so obviously there are some things that I did end up missing that I would have loved to have been able to use, but you know, it's not too bad. I do like it. I do like the way it turned out. I could see myself playing in it as well. Now, something that I don't think I've mentioned, like at all, which is really stupid because we're like 20 minutes into this, is the fact that this build is a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. It has space for 6 Sims and it's on a 30 by 20 lot. So downstairs, we're currently working on it. We have the main bedroom for the parents. It's kind of like a suite because they have a door into this like kind of entryway area, and then they have archways into the bedroom and an archway into the bathroom. which obviously you could replace those with, you know, just regular doors if you wanted to. It just made sense to me to have them be archways. But we have this main bedroom downstairs, and then we have a really big main bathroom, like ensuite attached to it. So that's kind of like the parents' bathroom. I do show that bathroom on camera, but the other two I did end up cutting out. Now, at the front of the house, right next to the front door, that door right next to it, like right by the stairs, that's actually another full bathroom. So that has a shower and a shower tub combo, and then a obviously toilet and a sink. And then upstairs we have 3 kids rooms and then another full bathroom. So the bathroom upstairs is actually the one that has a toddler potty in it, because as you might have been able to see, I did put a toddler high chair at the dining table. So this house, the way I set up the bedrooms, we have obviously the parents downstairs, that's 2 Sims. Then we have upstairs, we have a toddler, and then we have twin children, so that's like what, 5? Yeah, 5 Sims. And then we have a teenager's room as well, so that's 6 Sims. So obviously you could have, obviously, you know, like pets and stuff like this in it as well if you wanted to. If you just wanted to add like food bowl, litter box, you know, whatever you needed to add for pets, so you could have pets in this. And I don't think you could really fit more Sims into this build. I mean, you could maybe like renovate a couple of, maybe the teenager's room, like replace their bed with like a bunk bed. That could work. Maybe you could probably fit in another toddler bed in the toddler's room if you deleted some of the like items that I placed in there. But yeah, other than that, I think it's kind of like at max capacity, this house. But yeah, so that's kind of how I set up the bedrooms. Now, we're currently working on the main bathroom, like I said. You don't see me doing any of the other bathrooms, but I did include pictures of them at the end of the video. So if you want to stick around for the screenshots, then it's at the end of the video. And yeah, so we do have like a family computer just running through like skill building items. But we have a family computer downstairs in the living room. We have the computer, we have a TV, we have a bookcase upstairs in, you know, the like hallway area. There's also a couple of them downstairs as well. We have, honestly, I can't remember what else. We have some planter boxes outside. I also included a like jungle gym climbing frame thing outside as well for the kids. We have a telescope outside, the pool. We have, I can't remember if I put in, I put in a chess table outside on the patio in the backyard as well. We have that. We don't have an easel anywhere or like any musical equipment, but you could easily put a guitar somewhere or like an easel if you wanted to like do painting or whatever. And yeah, then we have obviously the toddler's bedroom, which is what we're working on right now. And basically this bedroom just has a ton of toys, a little doll's house that I sized down, and that doll's house does actually still work. I did playtest it. It does work, even though it is sized down. I ended up putting downstairs, I don't know if I've done it already, but I put a little tablet, like a toddler Wabbit tablet downstairs, as well as some more like playing blocks, so the toddler has something to do downstairs as well. So yeah, we have that downstairs. And then the kids' bedroom, like I said, it's furnished for twins, so you know, obviously you could just have one child in there and use the other bed as maybe like, you know, you can pretend that it's for their friends if they come to stay over or whatever. But I furnished it for a set of twins. So basically in that room, it's not a very big bedroom, so I ended up only putting in one desk, and then I actually managed to fit in a like bookshelf as well as a little like activity table, and then just a dresser. And that's basically it for that bedroom because it's not very big. And then the biggest bedroom upstairs is actually the one that I ended up giving to the teenager. Now, gameplay wise, it probably would have made more sense to give the bigger bedroom to the twins because there's 2 of them. But yeah, I didn't think about that. I figured, you know, the teenager is older, maybe they got first say on the bedrooms. So yeah, the bedroom at the front of the house is actually the one that I gave to the teenager. And I actually furnished that bedroom to kind of like be for a gamer type thing. Now, obviously in the base game, we don't really have many like gamer setup type things. You know, I would have loved to have had like high school years for that. Or maybe even like Get Famous could have been really nice as well. So I would have loved to have added like one of the gaming PCs from like streaming PCs from high school years. But I just put in the unlockable one from the base game, the one that your Sims can unlock if they reach, I think, level 9 of the tech guru career. I just put that down in their bedroom. They also have a TV in front of their bed, which is something that I kind of really liked. I would have loved to have added like a game console, but obviously that game was city living. But they do have a TV on the wall, like a big flat screen TV by their bed. They have, you know, a big desk set up with obviously, you know, their gaming PC. I also ended up putting in a lot of like gaming, like I guess knickknacks, or as many of them as we kind of have in the base game. So I put down a couple of My Sims trophies, a couple of sugar skulls as well, because I don't know. So basically for me, I know sugar skulls are actually kind of like a cultural thing. And it came with a Day of the Dead update like years ago for the base game. But I kind of like using them in gamer rooms because they're kind of in The Sims, they're kind of the closest thing that we have to kind of just like collectible stuff. It kind of just looks like a collectible thing if you use it in that context, if that makes sense. So I did put a couple of them down in the teenagers room. Like I said, some My Sims trophies. And I think those are the only, like, I guess, gaming, I say gaming in air quotes, knickknacks that I could find in the base game, I think. I can't remember if I put anything else down, but I don't think I did. And then I just put down a trans pride flag as well. And yeah, I think that's everything for the teenagers room. I also put in a bookcase, obviously that dresser, like the really tall dresser, that's base game, that came in an update like quite a while ago. But that dresser was actually created by Peacemaker, and it came in that collab that they did with Peacemaker, Hey Harry, and I believe Ice Man, where they added a couple of like furniture items that Peacemaker and Hey Harry created, and they kind of put them in the base game as like in-game items. So I use that dresser in like every single room in this house because it's the best base game like dresser that we have. And you'll notice that the beds, I did push 2 twin beds together for the teenager just to make it look like, you know, they have a little bit of a bigger bed compared to their siblings. But obviously because it is 2 single beds and because one of them is pushed up against the wall, the one against the wall obviously doesn't work, but the other one works perfectly fine. Playtested it, works totally fine. So yeah, you should be good to go. Oh yeah, I did put in a couple of movie posters as well. I kind of like made them lean against the wall by the TV. So maybe those are the teenagers' like favorite movies. Maybe they're like supposed to be game posters as well. That could also work if that's something that you wanted to pretend, I guess you could say. So yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to mention. For the rest of the video, we're just going to be adding, obviously, you know, some clutter, everything like that to the teenagers' room, and then we're going to be moving outside. So I do have a bit to do in the backyard. But yeah, that's basically everything, I think. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, give the video a like. If you're new to the channel and you'd like to see some more Sims content, feel free to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. But yeah, so I don't know why I just did that because that's technically part of my outro, but we're not at my outro yet. So yeah, we still have like 2-3 minutes left to go. So yeah, like I said, I just hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to download this build, it will be up on the gallery. As soon as this video is out, it will be up on the gallery. I'll be uploading the tray files to my community tab for channel members, and then in 3 weeks, the tray files will become public as well if you want to like get the tray files. Otherwise, it will be up on the gallery immediately once this video is out. And I'll have a download link in the description to the gallery website as well if you want to download it that way. And yeah, I'll have like my gallery ID and hashtags and all of that stuff in the description as usual. And yeah, I think that's basically everything. So another thing that I wanted to mention is that over the weekend on Sunday, I actually did a collab video with the amazing Rachel Ped. So I actually built the exterior for the house and she did the interior. Now, if you guys have been on the channel for a while, you'll know that usually whenever I do collabs with people, I'm usually the one that does the interior. So for this one, I actually did the exterior. And I really love the way that house turned out. It was like a really huge, like 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom, like big generational family house. So I'll leave that video linked in the description and on the screen because, yeah, like I said, I loved doing that build. I loved putting a lot of like detail into the exterior and everything like that. So yeah, definitely go ahead, check that out. And then in the description of that video, I have Rachel's video linked as well, if you want to see what she did with the interior, because yeah, it turned out beautifully. I loved it. So yeah, that's just something random that I wanted to mention. Now, remember to let me know if you guys want to see that 𝘧𝘬𝘪𝘌𝘋 and base game build, because I really want to do it now that I thought about it. So I really want to try it out and do something like that with, that kit, and then obviously the base game. Maybe do something a little bit more modern. Obviously, probably going to be in Oasis Springs. So yeah, something a little bit more, maybe mid-century, I think, because mid-century houses always look really nice in Oasis Springs. So yeah, maybe doing something like a little mid-century thing in Oasis Springs with the 𝘧𝘬𝘪𝘌𝘋 kit and the base game. Let me know if that's something that you'd like to see. And then also, if you have any suggestions for like spooky month builds, because obviously, it is October. I really want to do at least 1 or 2 spooky builds. So if you have any suggestions for stuff like that, then yeah, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you have any other build suggestions as well, then yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments down below as well. Let me know what you thought about this house. And yeah, that's basically everything. I'm gonna end this video off here right now, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, like I said. And I hope you're all having a great week so far, and that you have a great rest of your week. And I'll talk to you on my very next video. Bye everyone.
Hey, we can run away. You say you wanna do. You wanna go back, You wanna go back to a place where we can hide. You wanna stay there, You wanna stay there, we can leave the pain behind. Stay. Like a wrecking ball, we can break them all to a higher ground. We will not be found. We can win the game. We can go insane like a shooting star. Don't you like a wrecking ball? We can break them all to a higher ground. We will not be found. We can win the game. We can go insane like a shooting star. Don't you wanna stay? Hey, we could be okay, but I dream that we can fly. You wanna go back, You wanna go back to a place where we can hide. You wanna stay there, You wanna stay there, we can leave the pain behind. Stay. Like a wrecking ball, we can break them all to a higher ground. We will not be found. We can win the game. We can go insane like a shooting star. Don't you like a wrecking ball? We can break them all to a higher ground. We will not be found. We can win the game. We can go insane like a shooting star. Don't you wanna stay? Don't you wanna stay with me? Don't you wanna stay? Don't you wanna break the chain? Like a wrecking ball, we can break them all to a higher ground. We will not be found. We can win the game. We can go insane like a shooting star. Like a wrecking